What happens when the pain of loss, the unbearable pain, makes you question everything, even death itself?
And what if, in that desperation, you think you found a way to defy it?
Right. Today, we're plunging into a story, a really chilling one, that forces us all to look at our deepest fears about finality.
And the terrifying, just inescapable consequences of trying to bring back what's truly gone.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take fascinating source material, dig into it, and pull out the most compelling stuff.
We help you navigate complex ideas, hopefully with some surprising facts, maybe just enough humor to keep things moving.
Our deep dive today looks at a truly chilling narrative about grief, regret, and the dark power of certain places.
Yeah, we're drawing directly from Stephen King's novel, Pet Sematary. It's unsettling, to say the least.
Our source follows the Creed family as they move to a new home, face just unspeakable tragedies.
And discover that some boundaries, some lines, they are absolutely better left uncrossed.
So our mission today,
Mm-hmm.
let's unpack the Creed's whole experience.
We'll look at their really different views on death, the influence of this local legend, this place.
And the agonizing path Louis Creed takes when he faces the absolute ultimate loss.
We really have to ask, what's the true cost of refusing to let go? And how does the land itself almost seem to conspire against peace?
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this. So the story kicks off with the Creed family arriving in Ludlow, Maine. You've got Louis, he's a doctor, his wife Rachel, Ellie, their daughter, and Gage, the toddler.
Mm-hmm.
And right off the bat, it's just the normal chaos of moving. Gage gets stung by a bee. Louis is already kind of tired.
Yeah, it feels very mundane almost. Deceptively normal, really.
Exactly. And almost immediately they meet Judd Crandall, their elderly neighbor.
Right, Judd. He's 83, got that distinct down east accent the source mentions. And what's interesting is how fast that connection happens.
Yeah, like instant community.
Totally. Judd, with all his local knowledge, he jumps right in to help. He even gives Louis a spare set of keys to the house.
Keys he'd apparently been holding on to for.
Like 14, 15 years from the people who lived there before. It says a lot about Ludlow, that sort of insular, trusting vibe.
But that quiet, small-town feel comes with a shadow, doesn't it?
Oh, immediately. Judd doesn't waste any time warning them about Route 15. The constant traffic, the noise.
Specifically those Orinco chemical trucks.
Big ones. Huge. He tells Rachel straight up, "You just want to watch them around the road, Mrs. Creed. Lots of big trucks on that road."
Which must have seemed odd to Louis at first coming from Chicago. He thought Maine was eerily quiet.
Right, so Judd's fixation on the road noise probably felt a bit much, but it's a warning.
A warning that becomes, chillingly accurate later.
It really does. The source frames it perfectly.
Yeah.
The right isn't just pavement. It feels like a character almost, a constant threat.
Always there. And it's little Ellie, with her kid curiosity, who spots the path first.
Yeah, that little path at the edge of the lawn, Judd just kind of says, "Oh yeah, I'll tell you about that sometime."
Another one of those small details that just looms large later on.
And that path, it leads, of course, to the pet cemetery. Spelled wrong deliberately.
Right, the cemetery.
Judd explains it's where local kids bury their pets, and almost all of them were killed on Route 15.
The source lists some of the names on the markers. Smuggy the cat, Trixie, Marta, our pet rabbit.
Jen Patton, Ringo, our hamster. It's heartbreaking, really. Those handmade signs by grieving kids.
Yeah.
It just underlines this constant low-level tragedy that's just part of life there.
And the cemetery immediately brings out these huge differences in how the Creeds deal with death.
Oh, absolutely. It's a major theme. You've got Louis, the doctor.
His view is very pragmatic. Death
Yeah.
is the most natural thing in the world, maybe second only to birth.
Right. It's a stone to pass, something you accept, you move on, let it go. It's almost clinical.
Yeah, professional detachment.
But Rachel, completely the opposite. She has this deep, deep terror of death.
And she desperately wants to shield the kids from it.
Desperately. And it's not just an idea for her. It comes from that awful childhood trauma.
Her sister, Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda died horribly from spinal meningitis back in '65. Rachel was only 8, and she was left alone with her sister during a convulsion.
Oh, that's horrific.
She says she thought it was Zelda's ghost coming back for her, that kind of trauma. It leaves a permanent mark. Her belief is absolute. There's nothing natural about death. Nothing.
And then there's Ellie. She has a strong reaction when they talk about her cat Church maybe dying.
Right. She gets upset initially.
But later, when Judd's wife Norma passes away, Ellie's reaction is almost detached.
Yeah, she just says, matter-of-factly, but she's old and she'll die pretty soon anyway. Mr. Crandall, too.
It makes you wonder, is that just how kids process things sometimes? Less filter. Or is she picking up on the adult's own issues?
It's a great question. Her directness is almost chilling compared to the adult's struggles. It really highlights how adult fears can shape a kid's view, or maybe how a kid's innocence can expose adult denial.
And then you have Judd. He seems to have a more
Mm-hmm.
philosophical take.
Yeah, more nuanced. He tells the story about a girl, Mandy Holloway, whose dog was poisoned.
Right, and she used a picture book about funerals.
Ugh.
Queen Victoria's funeral, no less.
Exactly, to organize a proper funeral for her dog. Judd's point is, when a good animal gets run down on the road, a kid never forgets.
He seems to value that ritual, that way of processing.
Mm-hmm. It's about acknowledging the loss, having a way to mourn, which is healthy.
Yeah.
It implies that's how you should deal with it.
Which sets up the contrasts for, well, for everything that goes wrong.
Precisely. Judd's wisdom points to a natural way to grieve, but that wisdom gets tested by something much, much darker.
And that brings us to Church, the cat. After he gets neutered, he gets fat and slow.
Predictable, maybe? And then almost inevitably.
Route 15 again, and a Rico truck hits him.
And Louis. And he finds the cat, but he dreads telling Ellie.
Yeah, he decides to hide it. Thinks it'll be easier, less of a hassle if Ellie just thinks Church wandered off.
Yeah.
Even calls himself a coward for it in his head.
And that decision, that cowardice as he sees it, leads Judd to make his own fateful choice.
Taking Louis beyond the pet cemetery.
Right. To that older place, the Micmac burying ground. Judd calls it a magic place, but also warns the ground had gone sour.
He mentions its power, but compares it to heroin or poisoning.
And he even brings up the Wendigo, that mythical spirit tied to corruption and insatiable hunger. It really tells you this isn't natural magic. It's tainted, dangerous.
That's a different kind of power entirely. Not about healing, but something else.
Definitely not healing. And the proof comes fast and horrible. Church comes back.
But he's wrong. Just fundamentally wrong.
His eyes are described as muddy yellow-green. He stinks.
Ellie literally says he smells like caca.
And his behavior changes. He becomes this ruthless killer of mice and birds, leaving guts everywhere.
Yeah, strewing the guts hell to breakfast, as the
Yes.
source puts it graphically. And both Rachel and Ellie notice immediately they're repulsed.
There's no mistaking it. Something is deeply wrong with the cat.
It's undeniable. Yet Louis, he tries so hard to rationalize it.
He tells himself killing small animals was a cat thing to do. Right. Tries to convince himself Church was, in many ways, as good as ever.
That's some serious denial setting in.
Yeah.
Self-deception.
Absolutely. He's choosing the comforting lie over the horrifying truth right in front of him, and it's paving the way for much worse.
And then the absolute unthinkable happens.
Yeah.
Gage. Little Gage.
Oh, God, yeah. Like Church, killed by an Orinco truck on Route 15.
Louis sees it happen, tries to grab him, but
We miss.
just brushes his jacket.
It's pure, devastating horror. And you have to wonder about fate versus chance here. They knew the road was dangerous. They saw what happened with Church.
It almost feels like something is pushing events along, doesn't it? Like the ground itself is involved.
It really does feel that way, like a grim predestination.
And the family just shatters. Rachel completely breaks down.
Disheveled, incoherent speech. Needs sedation from Steve Masterton, Louis' colleague.
While Ellie's the opposite. Quiet, stoic grief. Just holding Gage's picture, sitting in his little chair.
Try to keep things ready for him. It's heartbreaking in a different way.
And the grief just turns ugly at the funeral home. Louis clashes with Rachel's father, Erwin Goldman.
Yeah, Goldman just lashes out, cruelly blaming Louis. I knew something like this would happen. This is what it gets you, marrying against your parents' wishes.
Awful. Just raw blame and anger in the middle of unbearable pain. It isolates Louis even more.
Definitely. And then the supernatural warnings really kick in.
Ellie starts having nightmares about Pascal.
Oh, turns out to be Pascal, right?
Yeah.
The student Louis couldn't save early on.
Yeah, and Pascal's ghost, or whatever it is warning Ellie about the pet cemetery, about what her dad might do, trying to intervene.
And Rachel feels it too, this growing unease about Louis. She senses he's hiding something.
Which leads to her frantic trip back from Chicago. She feels like something is actively trying to stop her.
Yeah, that sense of manipulation, like she's being held back.
Oh, yeah.
And then the car trouble.
The battery cable on her brand new Chevette just comes off.
Right. It delays her, reinforces that feeling of hitting the rubber band of the world's biggest slingshot. It's like the supernatural isn't just ghosts, it's physical obstacles.
Almost like the place itself is trying to keep her away, to let Louis do what he's going to do.
Exactly. And Louis, driven by that unbearable grief, his denial now totally consuming him.
Yeah.
He makes the decision.
The ultimate taboo. He's going to bring Gage back.
The source details his grave robbing mission. It's meticulous, almost ritualistic, digging up Gage's coffin in Bangor.
The American Casket Company's Rosewood Model Eternal Rest. Opening it. Ugh.
And what's terrifying is his state of mind, this growing coldness, detachment. It's not rational grief anymore, it's something else.
And his internal thoughts about Oz the Great and Tuable.
Yeah, personifying death as this, like, amusement park figure who's everywhere, in the water, the food.
He asks, who's out there? And the answer is just, don't be afraid, it's just me.
Is that clarity born of extreme grief or just madness? He's trying to make the ultimate chaos make sense, maybe, giving it a face, even a tuable one.
And this is where it gets just truly horribly worse. The consequences hit home.
Brutally. Judd Crandall, the one who started Louis down this path, trying to help with the cat.
He's attacked and killed by the resurrected Gage.
Who isn't Gage anymore. He's a hideous monster. And the detail.
Using Louis's own scalpel.
Chilling. Gage says, all I want, while doing it. The tool of healing becomes the murder weapon. It's the direct, violent result of Louis's choice, turned back on the person who maybe foolishly tried to help.
Louis comes home, finds Judd dead. The horror is complete. And then...
In total despair, madness, he sets Judd's house on fire. Steve Masterton sees him, horrified by Louis' state, but still feels that urge to help his friend, even in this insanity.
It's just tragedy, compounding tragedy.
And the ending. It's so disturbing because it's not quite final.
Louis carries Rachel's body. The implication is she's dead now after whatever happened when Gage returned back to the Micmac ground.
He buries her there, then collapses into black, dreamless unconsciousness.
And the very last thing, the sound of footsteps. Slow and clumsy, but purposeful, entering the house.
It leaves you hanging. What exactly has come back this time? What's the ultimate price? It's just horrifying uncertainty.
So we set out to understand how this family dealt with loss and the consequences of trying to cheat death, drawing from Pet Sematary.
And we've seen Louis's grief just twist and warp until he breaks the ultimate taboo, leading to, well, just horror upon horror. The sour ground claims everything.
This deep dive really shows how grief can just distort reality, doesn't it? Turn love into this monstrous obsession.
Mm-hmm. The story makes you think not just about fearing death, but what we might become if we can't accept it, when we try to force things.
It makes you think about that line from the book about the soil of a man's heart being stonier.
Yeah. And if it grows what it can, what seeds do we plant in our own hearts when we face that kind of loss?
And what kind of unholy harvest might come from it?
A deeply unsettling thought to end on.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this exploration gave you some new perspectives, maybe a deeper appreciation for the mysteries and the terrors we sometimes face.